Good evening. We're doing something unusual tonight, bringing you a report on police violence that took place in the city of Glendale in 2017. You will see it through the body camera of an officer who has been disciplined for significant abuse of the use of force. You will witness the entire event.
The story is uncomfortable to watch. If you have young children in the room or if you don't want to see violence in a real-life situation, now would be a good time for you to leave this program. So why are we airing this story? Because the Valley, like many communities around the nation, is dealing with escalating incidents of violence by police officers and violence directed at police officers. Rarely do we see the entirety of what is occurring.
Tonight, ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskobing brings you a story you'll see for the first time and only on ABC 15.
In the parking lot of this Motel 6 in Glendale, police pull in.
How y'all doing?
And approach this car.
You guys staying here? I'm just not yet. Hard to get room.
The passenger is Johnny Wheatcroft. He's in the front with another man. In the backseat, you can see his 11-year-old son, his 6-year-old, and their mother.
You guys got your IDs on you real quick? All of you. Hey, when you turn in here, man, just make sure you throw your turn signal on for us. Just, yeah, that's all it is. Nobody has their ID on them? No. Anything with your name on it? Yeah, just grab it out real quick. Nothing in the car there shouldn't be, right? Anybody? No. Nothing?
It's July 27, 2017, and these officers are part of a special unit assigned to high crime areas. This is a reverse angle from the other officer's body camera. You're looking at Officer Matthew Schneider.
You can just step out and hang out right there.
Remember that name, because things with Schneider are about to escalate quickly.
Well, just hang on a minute, okay?
Yeah, just hang here for just a few seconds.
Don't reach in your bag, man.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You said you don't have no ID. I don't want you reaching in there. What's your name?
Why am I even being asked?
Well, you don't have ID, and then we made a. Yeah, if you're a passenger in a vehicle, you need to have your
ID.
ID.
Why is that? I have an ID. I don't have to give it to you. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, well, I could take you down to the station and fingerprint you. Because we made a traffic stop on the vehicle, brother. That's it.
I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just here trying to help
Listen,
you.
we could do this one of two ways.
Okay, relax for a minute, please.
No, I'm going to relax. Listen to me. We're going to... Don't... Okay, I don't want you stuffing anything down in between the seat like you're doing. Relax. Keep your foot in there.
Okay, stop, please. I didn't do anything wrong.
Here's the deal. You tense up, I'm gonna... Listen to me. Listen to me.
I understand.
Listen to me. Relax your arm, okay? Don't start... Listen. A couple of things. One, okay, you don't have no ID on you, okay? I'm trying to do this as easy as we can. You already done something down in your backpack and you stuffed something down in the seat.
I promise you that.
Okay, are you gonna fight or not?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I promise you I didn't step
we're gonna do this. Okay, I just watched you.
No, you didn't, sir.
Let's pause for a quick second. Notice here, the officer has been grabbing Wheatcroft's arm for the past 34 seconds. That's kept the seatbelt from sliding off, and that's going to be important.
Okay, listen. He's gonna fight, dude.
No, I'm not, bro. Ow, I'm not fighting.
Relax.
Okay, babe, I'm not.
Don't pull away. Hey, get your taser
out. I'm not, bro. I'm not.
You are.
I'm not. I promise you that.
You got a taser on you right now.
He's not. I'm not doing nothing, man. I'm not doing nothing, bro.
I'll tell you right now, you're gonna continue.
Ow, man, what the f wrong with you?
Relax.
I am, dude. Ow, stop.
Not gonna fight.
Ow.
Stop.
Lay down! Lay down!
Turn over, mother.
Please stop.
Mark, stay down, buddy.
Do nothing, I promise. Babe.
Stop doing that, please.
Stop. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Okay.
He's not gonna do nothing.
Middle of the complex, roll fire.
We're doing this, but I'm saying no reason. This is stupid.
She's got to get you killed. Whoever hit me in the head.
Yeah.
No, please stop. I'm not doing nothing.
He's doing nothing.
Get your hands up right now. Get your hands up right now. Mark, stay down.
I'm saying you hit him in the head with a
Hey, we need to get... Watch Mark, he's hurt.
I'm just saying this.
You hit him in the head.
No, she didn't. She didn't mean to.
I hit
I'm stuck in the seatbelt. I'm stuck.
The car.
I am stuck in the seatbelt, bro.
At this point, Wheatcroft is handcuffed, still tangled in the seatbelt, wrapped around his legs. It's the 11-year-old boy who has to untangle his father as officers try to drag him away.
Hey, get in front of the car right now. Get in front of the car. Come on. You're all right. Come on. You're all right, buddy. Come on.
Officers claim the woman in the car hit an officer with a water bottle.
Mark's hurt. Mark is hurt. He got hit in the head by her. We need to get her in handcuffs right now.
She didn't mean to. Please don't take my
Don't kick.
We need to play that back. If you missed it, with Wheatcroft handcuffed, another officer on his back, Schneider kicks him in the groin, then takes his left hand, pulls down Wheatcroft's shorts, and according to his lawsuit, tases him in the testicles from behind. And if you missed it, the video shows another officer pushing this woman down, and then seconds later, yelling at her too.
Get him to the front of the car. Walk this way.
And you're about to see Officer Schneider threaten another tase. This time, with Wheatcroft on his side, Schneider places the taser at the crease of his hip, on his penis, according to the lawsuit.
Elbow! My elbow!
Hey, keep fighting. You're gonna get it again.
You want it again? Shut your mouth! I'm done around with you!
So far, let's get him out.
Glendale arrested Wheatcroft and charged him with 2 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer.
Stand up.
In all, records show Wheatcroft was tased 11 times.
Shut up. Shut up. You're fine.
I am chest pain, please. I promise I am chest pain.
We can listen to me.
I have pneumonia. I really have chest pain. I'm having passion.
Okay,
I
well,
have
you
pneumonia.
shouldn't have been stupid then.
I've been trying.
Watch
I have
your
pneumonia.
hand.
I have pneumonia.
He's that one right there.
Hey, Bill.
Right here on the
Right here.
I have pneumonia.
Right.
And behind. And behind.
Relax. Stop being a big baby.
I have pneumonia, boss.
That's all for.
I'm telling you I have pneumonia.
Yeah, I think that is
I can't breathe. I can't breathe, boss.
You're fine. You're talking.
I'm good. I've got it.
Wheatcroft spent months in jail because he couldn't afford bail.
Ow, my wrist!
His lawyers say he was finally released and all charges dropped once prosecutors saw the body camera video.
Is this officer still on the force?
Steve, he is still on the force. He was suspended for 3 days, and he is on patrol as we speak. He wrote a ticket as of 2 to 3 days ago.
Was he ever ordered, to our knowledge, into counseling or anything like this? It seems, and the reason I ask this question is it seems as if once he's in handcuffs and on the ground, pulling down his shorts, tasing him in the groin, that almost seems vengeful.
We haven't gotten his full personnel file yet, and it doesn't indicate any counseling or anything, but we spoke to some of the top law enforcement misconduct experts across the country, and they say they've never seen anything like this. They called that one of the most sadistic things they've ever seen. They cannot believe he is still employed as an officer, and they can't believe that he wasn't prosecuted for what happened there.
So what is Glendale's response to all this?
Well,
What
we
did the
reached
police
out to
have
them this
say?
morning for comment, right, about this lawsuit and to see what they had to say. They answered a few basic questions, but didn't give us any comment about the lawsuit. Instead, they released a media release to all media, didn't send it to us directly at first, with a long list of things that they claim happened in the video. And one of the things that they did say is that they're dedicated to remaining transparent. Now, as part of the transparency, they released just a 30-second video. I hope we have it here. I wonder if we can get that up on screen. This video is from a surveillance building, the Motel 6 there, and it shows just 30 seconds, and it shows no body camera video, and we know that there are dozens of minutes of video from those officers' body cameras. They had 4 or 5 officers there at one time. What you're seeing here is the one officer fall back after they claim he was hit in the head with a bag with a water bottle by the woman, and then you can't see Mr. Wheatcroft because he's in between the door and the car, which isn't facing us, being tased 11 times. So this is what they released, none of that officer's body cam video.
What else did the experts say about this? You flew to Los Angeles and
Yes.
talked to some of the top experts in this arena. What did they have to say?
Well, they said not a single tase in this incident was justified, not a single one. And they also say that this whole incident was handled wrong, that the officer did not tell the truth when he said he had to provide an ID for a traffic stop in which he wasn't the driver. And that when he went hands-on with him right away, there was no reason to do that because he was not resisting. So the whole incident, from beginning to end, was entirely wrong in their opinion.
I know that the police department and the attorney's office, Maricopa County Attorney's Office, looked into this. No charges recommended or filed for this officer?
None. In fact, I think they had 2 looks at this incident, and they declined to prosecute both times, which is pretty stunning, at least according to the expert's opinion. Now, I do want to talk about this statement that Glendale Police released today. It's pretty long. It's 2 full pages. But what it's stunning for is its omissions, and frankly, it's not truthful. And I can't really see this as any other than an attempt to mislead the public. I'll give you some highlights here. First, they claim that Mr. Wheatcroft was resisting the officer's hold, and that's very telling because I got a hold of the department's internal affairs investigation into this officer, which they suspended him for 3 days. And they specifically write, the subject was compliant and didn't resist. That's a quote. And I'll read you another one. Based on the suspect's lack of resistance at the time of your use of force, the amount of force you used against the suspect was unreasonable and unnecessary. That is not in their statement. Neither is any information about his suspension or the fact that he was criminally investigated and referred to the county attorney's office. What also is missing is nothing about the seatbelt, him being tangled in it. And they also wrote this, that this is a quote, Mr. Wheatcroft was eventually able to be calmed down and he and the woman were taken into custody without further incident. Nothing about him pulling down Mr. Wheatcroft's pants, applying the taser to his testicles, as Mr. Wheatcroft claims, and you see.
In front of his
It's important to
kids as
note the
well.
date on this, too. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of the screen there, July 27th, 2017. So this was a year and a half ago.
Correct.
And it's only now coming to light. Do Glendale Police at all say why they haven't talked about this previously?
I think it's because they weren't questioned about it yet. So they talk about transparency, but this happened. It was significant. This is part of a federal lawsuit, as we told you about there. This isn't going to go away. And honestly, this response and the way they responded to this incident is probably only going to intensify the scrutiny.
Dave, I know you'll stay on top of it.